Hey everybody, welcome back to our podcast, Kpop Besties. I'm your bestie Warren, and with me, of course, is your bestie Wendy.
Hello.
I'm wearing my ITZY jacket today because it's our Light Fury's birthday today.
Oh, it is.
So I
Happy
have
birthday to
all
Miss Yeji.
Yeji stuff here with me. This thing that
Yeji.
I won't open it because I love it so much. I don't want to but it's Yeji's birthday today, and Yeji has been just one of my favorites just ever. So
Happy
I'm
birthday. How old is
celebrating
she today?
24.
20. What year is she? 97?
How old is Yeji?
No,
She
she's younger than that.
So I said 24. This says 23. I don't know if she just turned 24, if she just turned 20.
And which one's the Korean age? In any case, happy
Anyways,
birthday.
happy birthday, Yeji.
She's under 25.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's funny because you put this on our Instagram, but I showed her this in Phoenix or LA. I can't remember which one.
LA.
And she saw it and she was like, "Ooh," and I was like, I wanted to throw it at her,
Yeah.
but they had already been like, no, sorry, we can't. Because like the guys next to me, we were all like going hard and we're like trying to like give them our phones and stuff, and they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we can't." Like, dang it, JYP, come on, man. People throw their phones at like Blackpink all the time.
And yeah, but they don't. I don't think they take them.
I think they used to, and I think like
they did used to. Samsung only.
Not anymore because they all have iPhones now.
Really? That was a thing. It was.
Oh no, yeah, I remember it was a big thing. That Jenny clip where she's like only Samsung.
Speaking of, Yoongi is still only taking Samsung, so people would print out like the back, like a paper copy of the back of a Samsung,
really?
And tape it to their iPhone. He would take it and be like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Somebody else found like their old Samsung flip phone,
yeah,
because they didn't have an updated Samsung. So
that's hilarious.
He took it. He took the flip phone. He's like, "What is this? Oh my gosh!"
That's hilarious. You saw that when you?
It's all over TikTok. It's
really
the funniest,
okay.
It's the funniest thing.
That's hilarious. Now, see, my work phone is a Galaxy. So
you should take it to the concert.
I am right. I am just in case.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and it also has better. Like it has I have like an iPhone like 13 or whatever.
Dude, because the Zoom is insane.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. So it's always my concert phone, just because it's better at video and photos.
I feel like coming from, you're also an iPhone user, but coming from an iPhone user who made the switch from like Android and Samsung to iPhone years ago, I personally prefer the iPhone, but I will also acknowledge the Samsung phones are better built.
They are.
Everything on it is better.
No, and it's funny because they have that commercial, and we don't need to dive into this too much, but they have that commercial where the guy's like sitting on the fence waiting for Apple to do stuff, and they're like the people on the other side are like, but Samsung already has all this stuff. And I'm like, it's actually true. I'm with you though. I like the interface better for Apple because I'm used to it, but my work phone is a Samsung for a reason, like because I can do things on it and like edit things if I have to.
She's a beast. And listen, just one last thing on Samsung. Samsung, feel free to sponsor this podcast.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, we're talking K-pop.
If it's worth anything, Wendy's husband still has a Samsung.
This is true. So on that, we were at the Stray Kids concert, and K-pop bestie Zach was sitting across our section, so essentially all the way across the arena.
All the way? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I was like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm section this," and Dustin said. My husband said, I want to mess with like the phone setting, the camera zoom. Let me see if I can spot Zach.
Really?
So we zoomed it across the way and we found Zach through his camera.
Really?
Zoom. Yeah. Wow. And it's a pretty crisp picture too. I wish I had it.
Yeah, it's got like 100 times zoom or something. It's like insane. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, thank you all for being with us today. The first thing that we want to talk about is, and everybody like says this differently. I believe the proper way is to say this is idol or G-idol. Both ways are accepted, and I've been hearing G-idol a lot more. But originally, I thought it was just supposed to be idol. Regardless, I love them. They're on tour right now, or they're on tour right now, but they're about to do a US tour. I've looked at prices. I've looked at tickets, but like the resale, of course, is insane. It's like $1,700 for like the fifth row. I'm like, Ugh, okay. No, I'm not gonna do that. But I'm obsessed with their new song Queencard. Like I love it so much. I really like Allergy too, and that's like a part 1 and part 2 Allergy, and then Queencard. But I'm like obsessed with the song because it's so them. It's like such an idol attitude, like, and I love it. So what do you think? You're a woman, right? And they're talking about how hot they are with like their bodies and everything. So like, what did you originally think when you like reacted to the song, or like when you heard it for the first time?
So with Queencard, I feel like it's that, girly feel good anthem where you're getting ready in the morning and you just need something to kind of pump yourself up, and you put on the song, you have a little private K-pop concert in your bedroom. And I love it. I really like a lot of their songs, kind of that female empowerment. And it's not really obviously pertaining to specific, I mean, they sing it from a female perspective, but it's for everybody. It's for you to feel good. Like, my booty looks good, this looks good, that looks good. And it makes you feel great. And what I really like about I-DLE or G-I-DLE is that they're breaking all these quote unquote barriers that that K-pop artists seems to have, of like, especially female K-pop idols. I feel like the male idols aren't under as much scrutiny. They still are, but not as much.
Not as much.
And G-I-DLE just kind of like, we're gonna do what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And you can like it or not like it, but for those of you who like it, we're here for you.
Yeah, and I think that's why they are liked so much, is because they do that. Yeah. And I've really admired their work for a while now. Like, Soyoung does a lot of the writing, and it's I really like it. I really liked Allergy, and
that's part 1.
Yeah, so like specifically, I like the music videos, right? I mean, I like the songs a lot too, but the music videos, so Allergy, the part 1 is about is like the opposite of Queencard, right? It's like you're not feeling yourself, and it's like talking about like the hate of TikTok, the hate of Instagram, and all this stuff, because as we know, like, Instagram is pretty glorified. You don't post pictures of yourself. Well, some people might, and if you do, kudos to you, but like of yourself, like crying when you're having like the worst day of your life, right? But like for celebrities and stuff like that, most of the time it's, the best of the best, and very, a lot of times staged moments and stuff like that. So a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I was like that. I wish I looked that good. It's like, well, if you spent hours doing your makeup and your hair and all this stuff, and like we're in the perfect lighting and professional cameras taking photos of you, it's like, yeah, you probably would look, pretty dang good. And so it's talking about the hate of that. And then that leads to Soyoung wanting to have, plastic surgery, which is so funny because like she's so pretty. It's like, I know you're trying to like make yourself look like you're not that pretty in this video, but it's not working. You're still super pretty. They're all so pretty. And
not just pertaining to G-I-DLE, literally all idols. I look at them, I'm like, how?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know how, but still.
Well, right. You're not gonna say it would be pretty hard to, and not that no one should do this, but it would be pretty hard to like pick out an idol and be like, oh, there it is. There's an ugly one. It's like that. I don't really think that happens. There's
just naturally, they're like born with like the perfectly symmetrical face. Plus, on top of that, you add a glam team, and your agency is looking at every single angle from your photograph and putting the best one forward. Like, so I that's why I like the song Allergy too, because it's kind of giving that, who sang the song like I Feel So Unpretty? It's a US artist. It's older song. Songs like that of just speaking to the days where you look in the mirror and you're like just not feeling it. We all have insecurities, right? So I again, songs like these with these messages aren't as, we don't hear them from female K-pop artists as often. Sure. But I think more and more now, with the growth of and the reach of social media, and all of this. So I just appreciate the way they're putting it. And I like that it's part 1, part 2, because it goes perfectly. When she goes into the operating room and then she comes out, she's like, I don't think so.
Yeah. She's like, I'm good. I'm good being myself. Yeah. Exactly. So like it ended up being a really good like part 1 and part 2 story. It also cracked me up just like because it was like the complete opposite. So when when it shows Minnie in the video, but it's Soyoung actually singing, and she's like, "My boob and booty hot." I just started dying. I was like, and like I filmed my reaction too, and I just started laughing because I was like, it's such an idol thing to say, and it goes so well. And also with the video, it does the it's like playing off of White Chicks. Like the dance, yeah, like the dance battle on like White Chicks. And I saw like a fan video, and it was like, I don't remember this part in I-DLE's Queencard, and like they play like part of the music video, and then when that dance part comes on, they play the scene from White Chicks, but it's still Queencard music over it, and it like syncs perfectly, and it's so funny. So if whoever made that, if you're watching this, congratulations, because that was very well done, very well done. But yeah, they're on tour right now. If y'all want to check it out, there are tickets that aren't $1,700. And if you're one of those people that is just fine sitting wherever and just simply watching them, enjoying them, yeah, go for it. And that's what I'm probably going to do for them as well, just so I can say that, hey, I've seen them live.
Yeah, so they're great live from what I can see.
Yeah, they have fun on stage.
Yes, they have a lot of fun on stage. It's just like attitude and fun, and like, we don't care. You just come have fun with us, and that's what I like.
I would love that. Yeah, yeah. And speaking of new, like these guys just like JYP artists don't stop. But Stray Kids has a new comeback coming soon. They just had a comeback, and they have another one, 5-star. Have you had a chance to listen to any of the teasers yet?
I've listened to all of them, and I can't wait. Specifically, I think I'm the most excited about. I mean, just the whole comeback in general.
Sure,
but probably their collab with Tiger JK is something I'm really looking forward to, because that man is like legendary in K-pop.
Yeah, I've listened to all the teasers, and this album actually sounds like it's going to be really great. And and this is something I was thinking about the other day. I was like, I feel like how I should say this for like American artists that I've personally listened to, and I actually listened to like a lot of like British like pop punk bands at like the 1975 and stuff like that. It's really hard for people to successfully make better albums than their previous albums, right? To like keep improving each time. And American artists and British artists do not release the quantity that a lot of K-pop groups do, but it's so amazing to me. And I'm specifically talking about Stray Kids, but this does, fall for a lot of other K-pop groups as well. I'm so impressed that they managed to get better each time when they're working so much. And like, not to mention, you said, Stray Kids, we both saw them recently. And it's like, they're doing so much. How do you manage to also record really, because they write their stuff too. So it's like, how do you manage to continue to be better whilst doing all of this stuff? Like, it's pretty insane to me. Like,
I feel exhausted when I watch all of their updates and videos, because I'll say after the latest encore tour, I felt exhausted, and I felt the post-concert depression was so real this time. What is this? So as a fan, the fact that they're feeding us like a comeback already, I was like, okay, great. But for them, I feel like they are not getting enough rest. I feel like they just need like a month off.
I know.
To rest. And I don't know if they feel that they can't afford to rest because it's such a competitive field. And at the same time, I think that's just a part of their work ethic. And between, the members of 3 Racha, they probably have hundreds of songs in their like vault that they can just like release.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder, like how, like, okay, Blackpink is like the perfect example, because we've seen the documentary on Netflix where Rosé sings Ready for Love. And it's like, that was like years and years ago. And then it finally came out, right? So you also wonder, it's like, well, how much of these songs did you record before? Maybe they recorded them all, like maybe they recorded like 20 songs in like a year, right? And then they're like, hey, we're going to release them in like 3 different comebacks as well, And I'm sure they always are continuously writing, and they're like, hey, let's throw more songs in there, or like, hey, I want to change some stuff. I'm sure that happens, and they're super busy. But yeah, you wonder, you're like, y'all need to take a break. Like,
yeah,
I'm exhausted watching you.
yeah,
Like y'all need to slow down. And it's the same for like
a lot
JYP.
of the artists out there. JYP artists don't rest.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like, Twice is exactly the same. ITZY, is the same, and they did Sneakers, and then right after that, Checkmate came out, and it's like they were so close together, and that was also during the tour, and then at the same time they released Boys Like You.
Yeah.
And then they came out with their Japanese single that they came out with, and then I feel like they did something else after that.
They probably did.
Just the music video for Cheshire.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, yeah. Then there was that. Right. So it's like, wow, that was a lot. Yeah. So it's you can see that they work a lot, and even like their younger groups like InMix and Nizyu, like they work a lot too. And it's not just JYP groups, obviously. A lot of them work really, really hard. And then you have like YG and like Blackpink who release like a new album, like it takes
once every 2 years.
Right. Yeah.
Once every 4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But then they've been on tour for like 7 months now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but then they come and then they really like go, and now they're doing the encore show, which we're going to as well in LA. Super excited for that. And we'll talk about this, I guess, right now. They're coming out with a new song for their new game. Yes. And I just want to say right away, if anybody knows when this song is coming out,
comment below.
Please let us know, because it appears that nobody has any idea of when this is coming out.
Yeah, I mean, the song is such a bop, and I know we just get kind of like a teaser version of it when you open the game, but you already know. And there's people on TikTok already covering the dance just from that specific intro of the game, and you have in the MV where the girls are doing their avatars, their game selves are doing the thing. So I don't know when I'm guessing they're waiting for the tour to be over.
That would be a long time, because we see them in August.
We see them in August.
Yeah, that would be a long time to wait. The game's already out.
The game's already out. I've downloaded it. It's super cute.
Yeah, it's a very cute game.
Yeah, I really like it a lot. So I am glad that these girls are finally like out and touring or performing, and there's new songs, new games, all this and that. It's just like, I feel like YG was like, okay, so nothing for all these years, and then everything all at once in this one.
Right, yeah.
And I'm sure COVID played a part into that. Like, they couldn't really, so I don't know if they had other things planned and they just kind of halted it all. But in the same vein, when we're talking about Stray Kids and JYP artists with no rest right now, it feels like that for Blackpink. Like, yes, you haven't done anything in a, like, you didn't tour for a long time, there was no full album for a long time, but then it's all of it at once. And I was like, can we just like spread it out just a little bit for the artists?
I saw a TikTok that was like talking about like everything this year, and it was like Twice, Stray Kids, BTS, InMix, I-DLE, Mamamoo, and the girl was like, "Can we slow down, please? This is too much for my bank account in 1 year." Like,
for real,
because it's like not only comebacks, but they're all like, everyone I just mentioned has done tours.
Yeah,
or like BTS, like individual members have, but.
I mean, Kpop bestie Laura just came back from off. I have Yoongi.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. And you have a BTS story.
I have a BTS story. So let's go ahead and move on to BTS. I would have recorded our experience if we were allowed. And I'm talking about the BTS Proof LA exhibition. So for me, this was like the very first BTS exhibition, anything that I've gone to. I've gone to pop-up events or like like the fan like cup sleeve ones, and those are always so fun. I love going to them because you're meeting fellow ARMY and this and that. But this I was super excited about because they were going to display things from music videos, and it's going to kind of be a chronologic order of their entire history, and which is what
put on by BTS.
It's put on by HYBE, right?
By HYBE, right?
So we were super excited. We bought tickets to it. We were assuming people, prior to the tickets being released, we were hearing that it was going to be just like the one that they had in Seoul, Korea. And then the other thing was that, you know, one of the draws, and this is not for all army, but for a lot of the army, when we go to things like this, you look for like a lucky draw, you get a photo card. When we went to the Twice pop-up, if you bought a certain amount of things, you got like one photo card,
right.
you know? And so like that's kind of cool and exclusive and fun. So sometimes people buy multiple tickets to get and collect multiple photo cards, so you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else. And it said that when we were buying tickets, you know, each paid ticket will get a photo card. So we bought them. The prices ranged between 50 to 65, depending on when you went. We went on a weekday, so ours was it was a lot. It was $50. So for the 50, you, on the advertisement, you get the proof card, the photo card, you get 80 minutes inside the exhibition, and then you get entry to their exclusive merchandise store that you wouldn't be able to enter without a ticket.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be super fun. I've never gone to one. I'm so excited because like BTS, when they put up stuff, it's good. And the quality was good. I will say the quality was good. It was not worth the $50.
Really?
Were rushed through that exhibit. So our time was 7 p.m., which was the last one of the day. So we show up at 7:02, and there was still a pretty big line. We didn't get let in until 7:20. And I was like, okay, so does my clock start counting the 80 minutes?
Right. When
it was not the case, because we were maybe just halfway through looking, and we were taking our time to look because like I paid for this. I got 80 minutes.
Sure.
I'm going to look. And they're like, hi everybody, you have 10 minutes left, so like we're closing soon. And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah, what?
If you let us in at 7 or 7:05 and we finish in 80, sure, but like don't be like we're closing because we were.
Well, when did they let you in? When did you actually get
7:20? 15 minutes we waited in line.
But still, like you get in for 10 minutes and they're like that's not even close to 80 minutes.
We were there, I think it was only like half an hour.
Yeah, that's still
half an hour. And on top of that, there were no photos or video recording allowed through the entire exhibit, with the exception of certain specified spots. And they had staff stationed at those spots to help you take your photos, which kind of helped, you know, made things go a little bit faster. But security were on everybody. Put away your phones. Don't let me see your phones out. Did you take a picture? Show me your phone. Delete it. It happened to our friend.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of ruined the atmosphere. Just constantly you were hearing, put the phone away when you're trying to experience this otherwise serene and very nice looking exhibit. But it was also nothing exclusive. It was all the photos that we have all already seen that has been released. Again, this was like the exhibit that's been out in Seoul. And it was just like high quality and blown up, which was great to see Namjoon's face super blown up. I loved it. And I stared at it a lot. But at the same time, I was like, I have seen all of this. So, and the biggest controversy is nobody got the photo card.
I was going to ask, because I felt like that's where the story was going. Nobody got a photo card.
Nobody got a photo card. They said it was we had a misprint on the email that was specific to Seoul, and we just kind of copy and pasted that. Or essentially, I think their reasoning was they copy and pasted it, but they weren't going to do that for the US. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, that's not the fans' fault.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
That you made a boo-boo. Like, how many eyes did this email go through, the proof, before it got released to the public? You said it.
Not send out a correction email.
Correct. And they didn't do any of that at all. And so you can buy a lucky draw at the store for $15. And for everybody who got it, if you like it, and I mean, obviously that's your money, spend it in whatever way makes you happy. Sure. I thought about it until I saw a girl open hers, and the quality was like sticker paper, and it was bendy like this. And I don't like my photo cards to be bendy like that. I like it like the good cardstock.
Yeah.
There were also photo booths available inside the store, but you can't just like pay $5-10 extra to get the photo. You have to buy an album, like a photo booth photo album.
Yeah.
I think it was like $70.
Of course it was.
Or something like that to get the photo. And I was just so disappointed in everything. The merchandise, some of it was cute, but the t-shirt, because I was looking at the shirt because it had the Run BTS lyrics on it. I was like, oh, that's cute.
Oh, that's cool.
And I felt it, and it was so scratchy.
Oh, really?
I was like, I don't think I want to pay $80 or however much. I don't think it was 80. It was maybe 60.
Why do I feel like when they
I don't know
do,
what happened.
I just feel like when they do like these big pop-up experiences, like the merch is never the same as like what you buy online or like at a concert or anything.
Correct.
It's like, oh, we're just gonna have to like, which is weird. I was gonna say mass produce, but it's weird because you're not producing as much as you would for an entire world tour, right? But I feel like they're just like, whatever, like we're not doing the normal stuff we do. Let's just make it cheap and let's just have stuff there to sell. And I feel like that's like at a lot of them.
Yeah, and this is obviously not on the members. I put this entirely
No, of
like
course
on
not.
on
Yeah.
Hybe. Like to think that Army will just pay for anything because you put a BTS name on it, and it's kind of like we deserve the quality too. Like we invest our time, energy, and our hard-earned money to support, the members, and I feel like this was such a for the price that it was not worth the money. But again, if you went and you enjoyed it, I love that so much for you because that's what I wanted out of it. And it just wasn't what I was expecting or hoping.
Well, and you were with Laura too, right?
I was with Laura and our friend Jen and Richard, and we saw other Army there, and we all felt the same.
Well, and I was going to say, because Laura's like the biggest BTS fan.
She is hardcore Army.
She is a huge Army.
Yeah.
And
Laura can by herself, and all the money that she spent on BTS merch, she can put at least 2 of their kids through college. Whenever the members have kids.
That's like me and twice. Like it definitely, yeah. But I have to be the father. What? No, I'm just kidding. Momo, if you're watching, I'll see you soon.
Are you leaving out Sana?
No. So I have Sana right here. Sana watches over everything I do.
Oh, Sana.
This is my favorite card. No, this one is my favorite card ever. From the More and More.
So cute.
Yeah, no. I just watched a clip of Momo like before we got on, which is why I said Momo first. No, but that's crazy because like because obviously you're a huge fan too, and so is Jen and Richard, and it's just like you said, it's like, come on, like these people like Laura and Jen and them, like you don't know what they went to 5 shows, over over like
I think it was a whole week.
Yeah, like a week.
I think Yoongi did 2 or 3 in LA, and then the rest in Oakland. And so they went to whatever was on the west side.
Wasn't there a Vegas one? No, I thought I heard Laura mention like
potentially, but I don't think she went to Vegas. But Laura did go to all the Permission to Dance in Vegas. She stayed at the hotel. She went to all the pop-ups and the cup sleeves.
Yeah,
she did it all.
Yeah, it's like you would like, when you pour your heart into stuff like that, you would like it back in return. And again, it's not the artists, right? They don't have anything to do with this stuff really, right? So, and it's unfortunate because we've seen it too, like at KCON, like because we were press at KCON, we've seen how there's like a lot of different moving factors, and they're not all like synced up. Like they're really not all synced up sometimes, because we would talk to the people who were running KCON, and then we would talk to people at KCON, and they'd be like, well, talk to Mnet. I'm like, how do you expect me to talk to Mnet? Like, do you know what Mnet is? Like, I'm not just gonna call a number and talk to somebody at Mnet.
Hi, I would like to speak with Mnet, please.
Yeah, right. It's just like, what are you talking about? So it's it could just be that there's so many moving factors, but the quality of stuff is unfortunate. And it's actually funny. I've thought this before, how like they should really get, like, I think I told you this before, when it comes to like anything that I've ever seen security for, security typically is just hired third party, and they don't really have like an idea of really anything, like how companies work or anything like that. So a lot of times security can actually be very rude and ruin an atmosphere.
It's like that Taylor Swift incident where she yelled at the security guard during Bad Blood.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about that.
No. Oh, you got to look it up. So there was a fan at the barricade at one of her concerts, and she was just dancing, having a good time. But this one overzealous security guy was not allowing anybody to lean on the barricade. Period. Like your hand touched it, and he was like, "Hey." So Taylor saw, and she, in the middle of her performance of Bad Blood, she's like, she's fine. Leave her alone. She's fine.
Wow.
Hey, stop. Like, can you imagine being the person that Taylor Swift is yelling at you?
Yelling
Hey,
at you. Don't want Taylor
stop.
Swift yelling at you.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh. So
But we've experienced that a lot. I mean, we've experienced, and it's not security's fault because they're just hired to be a security person. So in their head, that's what I'm supposed to do, right? I wish they had some sort of in-house stuff that's kind of like, hey, these are really big fans. Like, treat them with respect. Try not to like ruin the mood, because it's not that hard to say like, hey, could you please not take it? Oh, I'm so sorry. I saw you took a picture.
Yeah,
We're
it
gonna
was
have
like
to ask
just
you to
really
leave it.
aggressive and very loud.
Well, it happened to me at a Twice sound check. It was like my first VIP sound check ever for Twice, or just in general, I guess. And I didn't know that you couldn't take pictures at first. So I was recording when I entered the stage, and the security guard like runs at me, and he's like, "Hey, you can't have your phone." And he just starts, and I was like, "Okay." He's like, "I need you to delete that." I was like, "Okay." And what's kind of funny is like I deleted it, and he's like, "Okay, good." I'm like, "It's still in my trash." And I have the video, and I have the video of him running up to me saying like, "Hey, put your phone up." And I still have it. So it's like, he wasn't even that thorough with it, which is kind of funny. But
wow,
going back, like, it's not the artist's fault. It really isn't.
Right.
And some things just happen like that, and it's just kind of unfortunate, because I heard the Twice pop-up was pretty good.
It was a little disorganized, but it was nobody rushed us through anything. Nobody was yelling.
Gotcha.
They were maybe saying with a raised voice, but not like an authoritative, hey. They were suggesting for all of us to work our way up to the third floor, the rooftop part first, and then work our way down. But nobody was like, you can't, don't do this, don't do that, hurry up and get in line and buy your merch. Like, nobody was rushing us, because they all know we waited 4 hours plus in line to get in that, and so they let us take our time.
Yeah, and Twice showed up the first morning.
I know we missed them because we went day 2. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, you always have a hunch, but you never really know. So
yeah.
It's like,
but speaking of Twice, they're on tour.
Yeah, we see them in like 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
How much? Yeah. So
it's the beginning of June, right? Wait, June what?
15 days, 10th.
June 10th.
I believe is the first show. I believe is their LA show.
Yes.
Yeah. I've stalked Ticketmaster and like SeatGeek and all these other ones, I've been watching just to like make sure like the best tickets don't drop by like an insane amount, you know what I mean? Or like a barricade pops up and isn't like a ridiculous price. I think we have really good tickets. We are in the 100 section, like with a really good view. We're not like behind the catwalk stage. We're like still in front of it to look like, directly onto it. And we're in the front row of the 100 section, where I believe they're going to come by on the carts. We'll have to wait and see on that. But even if they don't, it's still a really good view, because I'm sorry, but like I have spent probably over $20,000 on Twice tickets. Just
oh my gosh,
in general, right? Because I've seen them VIP soundcheck like a lot, like 4-5 times, and you and I saw them. I saw them twice. That encore, and you came with me one night.
Yes.
And that was right on the barricade.
Yeah.
And then the night before I was in the barricade as well, and then in Oakland barricade. So like, and they're all resale tickets, right? I've never been able to successfully secure a really great ticket when the tickets drop. But I'm sorry, like they're like, I know this had to be a mistake. I pray this was a mistake, but I saw an Oakland barricade ticket for $96,000. And I'm like, it's gotta be a mistake. I'm like, you can't, like, and you have to buy 2. There's 2 of them and they make you buy 2. And I'm like, it has to be a mistake. I hope it was like $960 or something.
Right.
But then I checked recently, and it changed to like 7,000, and then I think right now it's still like 5,000, and I'm like, I feel like that's abusing it. Like I really do. Like, but for like places like LA where there's like a lot of wealthy people, maybe they're like, no, we can get away with it because if there's some rich, wealthy Twice fan out there, they'll pay 10 grand because you have to buy 2 tickets, which is like ridiculous.
It's so crazy.
It's crazy. But I am really excited. We're seeing them in LA, and then I'm seeing them right after in Oakland, and then I'm seeing them in New Jersey and Atlanta and Houston. And
oh my gosh.
Don't judge me.
No, it's great. I mean, look, you and I flew to Atlanta to see Blackpink, and then we came back to LA to see
them. We did go to Atlanta to see Blackpink, and that was actually a really great experience to me. It was hard because we stood all day, but the way it was organized was actually pretty organized.
Yeah, and I will say this too, because we had the ultimate Born Pink experience, so we got to do like the send off at the end.
Yeah.
I feel like we got really lucky with the way our send-off went, because the way they organized the room, and so you really got to interact with the members, even if it was for just like a minute. It was really great to have them look into your eyes and listen to you and say thank you for doing this concert. They're like, oh my gosh, because I think as the tour went on, the send-off went by faster and faster. It was literally like a bye.
And and I can understand why that happens, because things happen. In like a perfect world, everybody's perfectly respectable and not crazy, but there are some crazy fans out there that try to grab them, right, and stuff like that, which is why they're not allowed to touch you, right? Because at one point in time, like I remember speaking of Taylor Swift, I used to go to a lot of Taylor Swift concerts when I was like a pretty big Swiftie. You know, I remember there were times where she would reach out and she would like, you know, they would like touch people, and like the barricades for the stage were like really close to the stage. And now they're far because people try to grab, you know what I mean? Like you get too close and people get really excited and they grab her hand and don't let go, right? But I actually have a picture of me holding Taylor Swift's hand. When she used to do that, she would walk through like this section and intentionally like touch people. It was for like a very brief part of her Reputation tour, but she had like, and I'm not lying when I say like she had like 5 security guards like around her at all point, and like you would grab her hand and they'd be like, that's enough. They wouldn't touch you, and they'd let you do it briefly, but then they'd be like, but she has a personal security team that follows her everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I've, you know, just by being a big enough fan, I recognize security people, and I had actually talked to them because I went to, you know, several shows, and I would be like, so are you just her security guard or like, you know, part of a team? And he's like, no, we're her.
Yeah.
I'm like, Taylor. That's pretty cool. Yeah. But Blackpink did it well, but the send off, I think maybe some things happen and they're like, hey, we got to do it faster or something like, and it's usually not their call. It's usually like their manager's call or something.
Yeah,
but
they have nothing to do with that.
Right. But I do know I am happy. It would have been fun to see, but I am happy that they weren't riding like their suitcases when we
they didn't have them then. They didn't have them then.
Yeah, like they were posing for photos with us, like, you know, doing everything. They would, like you said, they look you in the eye and like say thank you for coming, stuff like that. Like it was a really good experience.
Yeah, once the suitcase scooter is entered, it was done. It was just like racing each other.
Right, they were having a lot of fun. Yeah. And it would, like I said, it would have been fun to see.
Yeah,
but I'm glad we got what we got.
Me too. And I look forward to their encore tour.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be fun. We're going to be in a suite with a lot of our friends. We'll get to freely dance and stuff like that, and sing and all that stuff. And I feel like I paid my dues to them by standing. What we were like standing since like 7 a.m. and the show didn't start till like 8 or something like that.
Yes, it was a long day of all standing, and I think my flight was at 7 a.m. the next day.
Yeah, you had an early flight. Yeah,
I was like 5 a.m. I was up and leaving. I called my Uber. I was like, bye, Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for less than 24 hours.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. So I'm very happy with our suite that we'll be in this time. I'll be very happy to just be able to sit back and enjoy the show.
Like get up and do whatever, and you know, it'll be a lot of fun.
Right. And we were right on the barricade, and it's, you know, it's standing. and there's no seats or anything like that. So like people are pressed up against you and screaming, you know, right in your ear and stuff. So it's you know, it's part of the concert experience, and it was fun when we did it, but now it's going to be much more relaxed, and I'm excited
I'm very excited to just sit back
and the same, you know, the same with our Twice tickets. I'm excited to just sit back and enjoy it. And, you know, I'll stand and sing and jump, and you and I, you know, just like we did when we saw Stray Kids and everything, like it's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of really cool, it's a really cool year so far for K-pop. A lot of like it's hard to be bored. Like unless, and I totally get this, unless you stand just one group, right?
Yes.
But even then, like depending on that group, like it still might be like if you're standing Twice, like I do, they're my old group. It's hard to be bored. They're doing a lot. You know what I mean? Like
so hard.
It's a lot. And like ITZY is doing, I think, a comeback right now. They've announced and teased, and Hyphen just released something. Like there's a lot going on. So it's a great time right now to be a K-pop fan. And if you've stumbled upon this, maybe from somewhere, another Instagram or channel that Wendy and I do, and you're not into K-pop yet, it's a good chance to get into it because it's a really good time. A lot of really great music and concepts and videos and stuff and tours are happening right now. So take this as your sign to jump into K-pop right now.
Yes, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can kind of get your dose of what's going on in the K-pop world as we talk about various topics. And let us know if you have any suggestions in the comments that what you want to hear, any specific groups you want us to dive into, and etc.
Yes, please. We would love to hear about all of that. We will read the comments, and next episode, hopefully we can get out to you soon as well. And until then, everybody be safe. If you're going to all these concerts and stuff, be safe and enjoy them.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.